Hello everybody and welcome to my channel, Vintage Boutique Cali. My name is Doug and I hope you are doing well. Today I'm starting a new series on my channel entitled The Vintage Jewelry Vault, where I have pulled a half a dozen or so jewelry items from the vault to feature, and will show and explain to you why I like them. All of the jewelry I show will fall into one of four categories. It's either going to be gold, sterling silver, antique costume, which is over 100 years old, or true vintage costume, which is over 50 years old, or it may be a combination thereof. I am going to try to keep my episodes to under 20 minutes in length, and I do plan on releasing one new episode a week for you, so I hope you will look forward to it. I hope you'll find this new series fun and interesting. So without further ado, I say let's get started and let's admire some beautiful jewelry art. Okay, so this first vintage treasure that I'm going to be sharing with you today dates to the 1940s. Now, if you've been with my channel for a while, you may have seen this a couple times actually, because I recently purchased this from Phyllis and Sally of Jewelry for Charity. You might have seen a couple of their videos on my channel where I was trying to help them out with some of their charity fundraising. Anyway, this is a set that I bought from them. It is a stunning set of 14 karat gold earrings and a matching ring. And all of them have the beautiful prong set, emerald cut, smoky quartz gemstone. It's very, very, very pretty. The stones have exceptional clarity. All six of them. Complete transparency. No inclusions or cloudiness. They are just very, 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 very nice. And if the stones are not enough, check out the gallery. I like that gallery. It just adds to the profile beauty of the ring because it kind of sits up higher on your finger. Anyway, I like this set. Again, these earrings are clip earrings, so I'm not going to take them off this card, but you can see on the back side these are clip-on, and these earrings actually are just under 6 grams of gold and about 23 carats of stone. Those are really nice. This ring, on the other hand, this is a size 6.5. It does have 4.3 grams of gold, and there's 16.5 carats on this stone. So anyway, that is the first vintage treasure that I'm sharing with you today from the vault. So I hope you enjoy that one. All right, so let's look at the next item that I have for you. This piece is a wide sterling silver cuff bracelet designed by artisan Carol Felley in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I actually purchased this bracelet from Dita of Batiste Jewelry here on YouTube. She was having doing a live auction with Laura of Tissue with Treasures, and she was selling this piece and I bought it from her. So I was happy to get it. It's absolutely a beautiful piece. This is one of Carol Felley's signature orchid bracelets with an amethyst stone on it. It's just a wonderful piece of art. It is signed down inside here. It has decent weight as well. It's just under 39 grams. Now this is not old. This actually dates to the 1980s. I know Carol Felley was in business for 30 years there in Albuquerque, but I just think it's a beautiful bracelet. Hopefully you like it too. I will set that over there, and that will be our second piece. All right, so our next pieces, there are three of them actually. All three of these are costume jewelry pieces marked Vendôme. And for those of you that may not know, Vendôme was Coro's high-end French fashion couture jewelry line that started in the mid-1940s, right around the time World War II was ending. At that time, women were anxious to get dressed up again for the men who were returning home from the battlefields. And Vendôme was also known for their high-quality construction of materials because they used brilliant, high-quality European stones and beads. You're going to see what I show you, some really good examples of that. So this first item, you may have seen this before too, because I have shown this to you guys before in previous videos, but I absolutely love these. This is one of my all-time favorites of Vendôme pieces. I know beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but I think this pair of earrings is just breathtaking. The design of it, the overall aesthetic, they're both incredible. And the crystals, look at that. Look at the crystals, the beauty of the colors and the sparkle. It's just a work of art. And the craftsmanship is amazing. Absolutely amazing. These are clip earrings. They are marked Vendôme on the back, you can see right there. They have the clips, but you can just see how much these sparkles. I've been looking for the matching brooch, and several years ago, I actually saw the matching brooch to these, and I was gonna bid on it, and I had it marked to bid on it, but then time ran out, and I was doing something else and I missed out on it. So that kind of stunk a little bit. This next piece, again, I mentioned to you that there are the beads, the wonderful beads that they do. Look at these. Take them out. This is a double strand necklace, and you can see the clasp. You get the fleur-de-lis right there on the end. But look at you got these wonderful glass beads, you got the crystal beads. I just think that's beautiful. The color. And then here you have the other end of the clasp, the hook. I just think that that's a beautiful piece. All the way around. All the way around. That's a very nice piece. And then the third piece that I have that is Vendôme is it's a three-piece parure consisting of a necklace and a bracelet and these earrings. And again, this has a different kind of, you still have the hook clasp right there. Beautiful glass beads. They feel good. It's a good weight, very well constructed. But you have the double. Strand there. The matching bracelet is a double strand as well. And then you have the clip-on earrings, which are the same. It's kind of hard a lot of times you'll find a pair of Vendôme earrings, or you might find a Vendôme necklace. It gets harder and harder to find full parures of their jewelry. So when I do, I keep them. I like the fact that I have the presentation box for these as well. So yeah, these are the Vendôme pieces that I wanted to share with you. I think that they are just all beautiful. Let's do this. Put these over there and that up there for the backdrop while we continue looking at more jewelry coming over here. All right, so the next item I have for you guys, I pulled because if you have not heard of Takahashi bird pins before, I thought perhaps you might find the story behind their creation rather interesting and inspiring. So This small hand-carved, hand-painted wooden bird was carved by husband and wife Yonguma and Kyoka Takahashi. And forgive me if I mispronounce their names, but they were both born in California to Japanese immigrants in the early 1900s. They were married in 1939, and then they proceeded to have 3 children immediately thereafter. Now, this is not a history lesson, but some rather important historical events did occur around that time, which are pivotal to their story and the creation of these miniature works of art. So anyway, 2 years after they were married, Japan bombed Pearl Harbor. That was December 7th, 1941, and over, 2,400 Americans were killed, I believe. And the following day, U.S. declared war on Japan. So on the West Coast, there was mass hysteria and phobias were erupting concerning people of Japanese heritage. So 2 months later, President Roosevelt issued an executive directive mandating the forced internment and relocation of over 110,000 Americans of Japanese descent into various war camps around. I know they had some in Washington, they had some in Arizona, they had some in California. Anyway, Yonguma, Kyoka, and their 3 children were among these people who were relocated and confined to the Poston camp in Arizona, where they would remain for several years. While they were in the camp, they participated in a craft class where they learned to carve and paint small birds, such as this one. So Yonguma carved the birds out of white holly wood, starting with a jigsaw, then smoothing and sanding the birds. And then when done, Kyoka painted the birds with watercolors using fine camel hair brushes. And then, and she was using the Audubon bird book for reference. Once she finished doing the painting, they coated 10 coats of lacquer was applied to this bird. So anyway, after their release from camp 3.5 years later, they turned this craft into a family business that continued for over 40 years. I just find that the story really fascinating behind this little bird. It is a piece of history for sure. If you are interested in reading more about them or the story, you can do one of 2 things. I actually happen to have this book called The Inspiring Story of Takahashi Bird Pins. It was written by Julia Carroll and Carol Takahashi. Julia Carroll, you may recognize that name. She has written many, many books on vintage jewelry. And Carol Takahashi is the granddaughter of Yonguma and Kyoka. So in this book, you have the whole story and the history behind it and additional information. You can also go to the website, www.takahashibirds.com, and read more about them as well. So I just think that it was a really interesting story. And because of the story and the beautiful artwork that they did on these miniature pieces, I thought that I would bring it to you and show you. One thing I will mention is that I want to say in or around the 70s, because of the popularity of these pieces, they were forged. Okay, this is an authentic one, and you can tell by the way that this pin is adhered to the back of the wooden piece. The other, you have these little not push pins, but they are like little push pin nails that go into the back of the wood. That's how the real ones were affixed. If you look at the fake ones, they are done differently. And again, if you go to the website, or if you happen to buy the book or have the book, they'll tell you how to recognize the fake ones and stuff like that. So again, I just thought it was interesting. I thought I would share that story with you. And yeah, I love this piece. There is also a museum up in Northern California where they have a whole bunch of these on display. So that is the next piece I got for you. And while we are on the topic of birds, I thought I would bring you this next item. This is the Victorian piece. All right. This is gold filled. This is a double-sided pendant where you have birds that are made of bird feathers. You've got the mother of pearl backing that has paint on it, and then you have the bird feathers, which makes the bird, and it is encased in glass. Again, it is two-sided, two different kind of birds. I just think it's really, really interesting, very pretty. Mother of pearl backing, painted birds made out of bird feathers. You can see that close up. This is really cool. See the shimmering of the mother of pearl. Anyway, I don't have a lot to say about that other than I think it's very pretty and it's unique. It is just the creativity of some people who, who would have thought to do that, but they did. And I even like the casing that it's in. It's not just a circle, it's got these little, features on the outside, which even make it more interesting. So anyway, that is another piece that I thought you might like to see. Okay, so let's look at this next item. Now, this next item I have actually has sentimental value to me and will never be sold as long as I am breathing on this planet. This actually belonged to my best friend who passed away in 2006 after a short battle with pancreatic cancer. We were friends for 14 and a half years, and for as long as I knew him, this was always one of his prized possessions. So it is an antique micro mosaic crucifix from Rome, Italy. You can see the size of it based on the size of my hand. It's very large. As I zoom in, you can see all of the micro mosaic in there, all the way. And you got the symbolism. You have the Chi and the Rho representing Christ. You have Jacob's ladder over here. You have the pillar over here. I don't remember if the pillar is a symbol of strength or knowledge. I can't remember. And then you also have the grapes down below. But you can see you do have the micro mosaic tile all the way up and down. Now, what makes this special is two things. First, it was given to him from his godmother, Mother Mary Constance, and she was a nun for over 50 years. And when she was over in Rome, she was given this from the Pope. And secondly, what makes this special is that this is actually a religious relic, okay? And when I say that, what you can see is in the center here, you see this centerpiece with, it's something that's under glass. You can see it from the front and you can see it from the back. That piece of red is a piece of cloth from the Pope's robe. And these were special things that were given out to nuns of who were higher in their ranking order. And since she was the mother, the Pope gave this to her. Anyway, so this is considered a religious relic. You will find other ones, such as this one over here. I do happen to have a second one. This is one, it's a lot smaller, okay? Still has the mosaic tiles, the pillar, Jacob's ladder, different symbols, flowers. But you see in the middle, you have the Chi Rho there as well, but you don't have any, there's no religious relic in there. So if you were to Google, antique crucifix, micro mosaic relic, you can see things, and it may be a cloth from the Pope's robe. It could be other kind of religious relics in there. But anyway, both of these are marked Rome, Aroma on the back, ROMA there, and this one has ROMA there as well. So again, this one was a gift from the Pope 2 Mother Mary Constants to my best friend, and then I have it now, not to be sold. This one is one that I actually picked up off of eBay many years ago, just because I liked it. Thought it was kind of cool. So anyway, those are 2 more pieces that I thought that you guys might like to see. So there you go. Oh, I will also mention too, with Mother Mary Constance, it's interesting because I never knew anything about her. I had heard him mention her name many times, but I didn't know much about her. After he passed away, not only did I get this, I also got a painting that she had painted in 1930, right after she had gone into the becoming a nun. And he had that in his house all the time too. And the history of that painting was on the back side of the painting. Make a long story short, I ended up contacting the convent where she was, or the parish where she was, and talked to the people who were still there. They did remember her because she had passed away in 1980. But I asked them if they had any information about her. The fun part is that when somebody joins the convent, they have to write their life story kind of down. And so I had her story in her own words about how she and her siblings, came over from Poland. She and her 2 sisters ended up going to the convent. She had 2 other brothers. The mother passed away because the journey was too hard on her, and she was sick and she died. But make a long story short, I have her history. I have her real name, where she was before she went into the convent, because you give that up when she became Sister Mary and then became Mother Mary. But anyway, I'm rambling, but it's just really neat to have the history of somebody. I've actually gone on Ancestry.com and started to do a tree. I think that was kind of cool because I was trying to find some of her living ancestors. I wanted to see if I could get that painting that she had painted in 1930 with her name on it and everything and the history of it, if I could get that to one of her descendants. And I have located some of the descendants. They're very aging. They're like cousins and nieces and nephews and stuff like that, but trying to still get that painting to them. But it's kind of interesting to just have kind of history like that. So anyway, I'm rambling. Let's go on to the next item over here. All right, so these last 2 pieces that I will be showing you today, I'm showing them to you because personally I just find them rather interesting. This is referred to as butterfly wing jewelry, and you may have seen this kind of stuff before. Butterfly wing jewelry originated in England back in the early 1920s, but it was a gentleman named Thomas Mott, and you'll see his initials TLM on the back of some of these pieces, who was actually credited with its rise in popularity in the 1920s and 30s. And these 2 pieces are very similar. They both have tropical scenes, right, against the nice shimmery blue background. And what they would do is the artist would hand paint, or they would actually reverse paint. You can see the glass dome here. They would reverse paint scenes on a piece of glass, and then they use the shimmering dorsal side of the blue morpho butterfly wing as its backdrop. So they would carefully place the painted glass over the top of the butterfly wing, and then they would encase it together into the setting. Now, they would these 2 pieces are on mother of pearl, but you're going to see a lot of the butterfly wing jewelry that was actually in sterling silver as well. And again, on the back side, you would probably see TLM, Sterling, England. Again, I think these are kind of cool. I will say one quick word of caution for you if you do find or collect these things. You can see how both of these specimens are really pretty and there's nothing wrong with them around the outside. But if you happen to see any of these where the wing has like a dark purple or a rust color patch, that's most likely indicative of dampness penetrating the setting or the casing, which of course you want to avoid. The Morpho wings are very delicate, and these are collectible pieces. So just something to be aware of. You can Google the Morpho butterfly. You can Google butterfly wing jewelry, and you can find a whole history on these things, but I just think these are really cool pieces. So I wanted to bring this to you and show this to you as well. So there you have those. So I think that is pretty much all I wanted to do is show you for this episode. I would love to hear your thoughts. You know, what were your favorite pieces and why? If you're a collector or admirer of vintage jewelry, what type of jewelry are you most drawn to? Do you have any recommendations on how I can make this actually a new series better? I look forward to hearing your comments and any constructive feedback you do have. If you did enjoy this video, I would very much appreciate it if you would take a second to click that thumbs up button. And I also invite you to subscribe to my channel if you are not already. And please remember to click that notification bell so you'll automatically receive a notification when I upload new content. And as I mentioned, I will be uploading one of these episodes a week. And I will also be having live auctions and pre-recorded jewelry sales coming about. So thank you again for spending a few minutes with me today. I do appreciate it, and you guys have a great day. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.